Well, welcome back. My name is Sean Chung Lee, and let's just get right into it. The first topic I want to talk about is things going inside our heads, things going inside our spirit, our body, our soul, things like that. It's difficult because externally we don't always know what's going on. Like I'm not physically in pain, but there's just something that is causing pain, and I'm not sure quite what it is. Or it could be people seeing from the outside, but they don't really know like what I'm feeling on the inside. And so what I want to address today is an issue that I know a lot of us are going through right now is like internal motivation, internal sadness, and the overlying theme of what we can do to get better. There's no right or wrong answer. Everyone's different, and things cater to different people. But for me personally, there are different strategies that we can cope with, different strategies that we can approach and try. One of them is very simple. I call it journaling. So journaling is a great method to not only organize our thoughts, but to put them on paper and see it from a third person perspective. When we take our internal speech, whether it's upset or happy, confused, by writing it down in a journal, and I have a journal every day, right at hand. If I'm feeling something, I can always write it down. Now, what this happens is giving it a third person perspective. So when we put it down on paper, it takes us a step back. So we see the problem on paper, take a step back, and we can read it and start to figure out what the problem is. Now, that problem could be relationship problems. That problem could be a relationship with ourselves. The problem could be, problems with school, problems with our passion, things that's not going the right way. And whatever the case may be, by writing it down, already gives us the first step to solving that problem. So journaling is a great strategy and a great tool, a process that can help us cope with, our personal problems. And the other one that I wanted to mention was meditation. And usually I'm very keen on keeping some things that I use personal to myself. So there's this concept called meditation. I have my own strategy, but I kind of want to save that for myself because it's very personal to who I am. But there's some things that would come from meditation. It's sitting down or standing, however you want to practice it, and being with yourself. Now, that can be a positive thing and a negative thing. One of the sayings I watched from a movie, if any of you have seen Pose on Netflix, one of the actors, he says the most dangerous thoughts that we can have happen when we are with ourselves. So I think there's a difference of being alone with your thoughts versus learning about your thoughts. And so when we are alone with our thoughts, that is when we have the time to, things come up, negativity come up, things that happened in the past, start dwelling on them, things that are stressing you out. And that just happens just by sitting there thinking about it versus learning about our thoughts, learning how to cope with them, learning how to think differently, learning how to come up with a different mindset, learning how to build new habits. And so what meditation does is active learning, active thinking. And yeah, we can just be sitting there, but just by us sitting there and being present and being with ourselves, the amount of brain activity that goes on is very amazing. And, with meditation, there's a process to slow breathing, a process to slow the way we think, a process to focus on our breath. And what this does is allow us to slow things down. So by the brain activity, what I mean by this brain activity, I mean is slowing our thoughts down and organizing it, seeing the issues, organizing our thoughts and seeing, okay, let me try doing this, let me think a different way, let me solve this problem that's going on inside my mind. And so what meditation does is it gives us, in my opinion, like a second chance. If there's problems going on throughout the day, if there's an issue that you haven't solved yet, or internal trauma from a long time ago, childhood trauma. Childhood trauma is a very overlooked issue where we have problems that happen to us when we're little and we never address them, but the problems come back up later in the future when we're older. So by meditating, we can sit down and have this breakthrough. Sit down, think about it, and have this realization of, let me take these issues and overcome them just by thinking a little bit differently. And that is so powerful. Every day we're rushing, every day we have things on our to-do list, and there's always things going on in our mind. By taking 5 minutes, maybe even three, 30 seconds could even help. But in that amount of time, just taking a second, not taking a second, taking 5 minutes, taking 3 minutes, taking 30 seconds to sit down, be present, and allowing our mind to slow down just for that portion of time, to organize our thoughts, to center ourselves. And when that happens, it creates a better understanding of who we are, creates a better understanding of how we feel, creates a better understanding of, okay, there are things and obstacles in front of me, but now that I'm centered, now that I can breathe, now that my mind is more clear, I know that when I tackle this task, it'll be much more fluid, efficient, and hopefully easier, right? So method number one of helping cope was journaling. And in my opinion, there's a way that these can go hand in hand, because by you meditating first, when you write and journal, you are very more articulate and your mind is more clear. So when you journal, those thoughts are more coherent. Or you can journal first and let all the anger or all the passion come out on the page. Then when you go to meditate, your mind is already set to be more clear. You're already stimulated in the head, stimulated on practicing self-love, and stimulated on how to learn more about ourselves, learn more about yourself. Now, one of the main issues that I see today, with a lot of people that I wish wasn't the case, but it really is an issue that I want to address, is understanding that people don't know that they can't ask for help, or people don't know that they have these childhood traumas, or have these issues, or have these social anxieties, or social problems, or insecurities going on. And a lot of those issues I feel can be addressed and helped. I'm not a professional, but in terms of childhood trauma, meditating and really thinking and digging deep inside and think what has happened to me and why do I act this way, journaling it, analyzing it, writing it, can help. I'm not a professional, so I don't know how to officially help with those issues, but how I cope with these issues is the approach that I take. And so that being said, if someone's having a rough day or if someone can't figure out an issue that's going on in their life, it's always just this complete utter, frustration, confusion, no coherency, no, plan to get better. And I wish that, that this video helps in communicating that you can help yourself. There's knowledge out there. There's methods, like I just said, meditation and journaling that can help you, can help us, can help a lot of people. And another issue that I want to think about is when these issues arise, we always internalize it and don't seek help. Either we are embarrassed, we are shy, we are insecure, we are afraid of other people's judgments. Those ththings are not as important as your mental health, as your longevity, as your joy, as your happiness. So what I would say to these 4 problems, insecurities, being shy of what people think about it, embarrassed, you're afraid to speak up, all those things, what I would say is, yes, those are valid feelings. But once you are opened up a little bit, whether to a best friend, whether to a close person to you in your life, a close friend or a family member. By opening up a little bit, what happens is you start to feel, oh wow, that felt a lot better. Shedding all those layers. Wow, that felt a lot better. And by doing that, that's when we begin the process to feeling better. And that is the reason why we are here watching this video, doing this podcast, is to learn how to cope with these problems and feel better. And so, I guess like the way that I want to close things off is number one, journaling. Number two, meditation. And three is don't be afraid to ask for help. And what I find very interesting is that, there's always this, if you need help, come contact me. If you need help, just say anything. If you need help, just come talk to me. But I feel where the disconnect is, yeah, a lot of us say that, but we don't do it. So I think for us personally, me included, what we can do as friends, as a family member to others, is to be that person. Be that person that opens up. Be that person that, is willing to take the extra 30 minutes to listen to someone's problems. Be willing to be that person that, is with someone. And even if we're having like a great time, we're having an amazing day, we don't say anything about ourselves, and we just listen entirely, empathize with the person in front of us, connecting, making eye contact, and really listening and trying to understand where their feelings are coming from. So if there isn't someone in their life that, can help support us, then we can be the person that helps supports another person. And by doing that, what happens is we give the other person strength, and then when that person has strength, they have strength to listen to our problems as well. So it's a win-win. It's a win because you're helping someone cope with their problems, but simultaneously, in that space, vulnerability is opened up, you guys are more comfortable around each other, and allows you to convey your feelings to them. And it's just this amazing cycle of longevity, this amazing cycle of, coping with stress, this amazing cycle of learning about ourselves. And that's what it's about, So, as a message just to send off, I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast, enjoyed my video, journal guys, practice meditation, don't be afraid to ask for help. And I can commend and I can give a lot of props to people that are actively seeking help, seeking therapy, talking to family and friends, because it takes a lot of courage to be brave, a lot of courage to open your heart up. But let me tell you this, once I started doing that, being vulnerable, being brave, being courageous, the gratification and the emotion and the emotional wealth that comes with it is very fulfilling. And I wish that a lot of you guys would feel those emotions as well. So, hope you guys enjoyed this. My name is Sean Lee. If you've been here before, welcome back. And if this is your first time, welcome to the family. All right, y'all.